What's going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video, and it looked like fans is pissed off at the governor, the mayor, the team, all of these damn players that's not saying nothing about the Chicago Bears leaving the city of Chicago. Guys, for this one here, we got to go to the Chi, and we got to jump right into this story. Now, I told y'all, me being from St. Louis, I'm very familiar with this whole ordeal. Very familiar with how this thing finna go down. Now, granted, they're not leaving as far as my Rams did, but they damn sure finna leave Chicago. Whatever the case may be, see, the situation, what makes their situation a little different from what happened here in St. Louis is that the Bears still had fans buying tickets. See, the Rams, people quit going to the damn game. They was losing bad. But at this point in time, the Bears was losing too, but they fans just never gave up on the team. They fans constantly went out there in the damn cold, mind you, supported this team, then was there for the entire rebuild process. Now that the Bears damn near Super Bowl contenders, we can say that now, because had Caleb Williams not threw that pick, who knows? That's just all I'm saying. Who knows where this damn season could have went for the Bears? But they got a very much promising future. Now, similar to the Rams had them picks. They was on a rebuild trajectory. Dan Kroenke got them the hell out of our city. They went to L.A. and won a damn Super Bowl, and the Rams ain't been trash ever since. I got to keep it 100, bruh. That is about to be what's finna happen to Chicago. Ain't finna be no damn Super Bowl coming to Chicago. I just got to be honest, man. Now, more information is coming out about the governor, dog. So many fans is on the bandwagon, bruh. They like, hell no, get the governor gone. Fans are calling for governor to resign. Thousands of Chicago Bears fans are calling for Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker to resign after he allowed the team to leave for Indiana and build a stadium there. The team has played in Chicago for over 100 years. Damn. I mean, damn, dog. Somebody said that's the line in the sand, not the gas taxes, property taxes, funding illegals. Somebody said it is amazing. Chicago is 28x bigger than Green Bay, 3 million more people versus. I'm telling you, I think it's the weather, dog. I think the Bears wanted a stadium. This is just my prediction. I think the Bears wanted a stadium, and they ain't finna get that damn stadium. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're not getting the stadium. I don't believe the city is going to fund that. I don't believe the city want any parts to do with a dome. I think that's what it is, bro. Now, this was the mayor yesterday, y'all. Listen to him.
Is my face straight? Okay. All right, let me keep a straight face here. The Bears belong in the city of Chicago. The Chicago Bears belong in the city of Chicago, right? And I've said repeatedly that the door is always open for conversations, Kevin Warren did call me yesterday. We didn't get a chance to connect, and I still firmly believe that their best position is in Chicago, and it's evidence. The evidence is clearly speaking for itself. Is my face straight? Okay.
Bro, hella mad. Bro, dude, hella mad because it's out of his hands. Now, this was ESPN speaking about Soldier Field. So there are some fans, not all of them, but some fans is saying that the commute to Soldier Field, which I was just there a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't that bad. I'll be honest. But it is a little walk. To get from the parking lot to the stadium, you got a little ways to go. But hell, that's any damn stadium. You're going to have a little ways to go. That's anywhere. Now, let's listen to what they said on ESPN.
This has a lot of people in Chicago up in arms. For me, I'm actually not that mad about it. I know I don't still live in Chicago, but I understand how awful it sounds to move a team that literally says for the pride of Illinois out of Illinois. But Soldier Field is notoriously one of the worst stadiums to get in and out of as a fan. It is horrible. There's nothing around it. And if you have to move 20 minutes up the road, albeit across state lines, to make the fan experience better, I'm fine with it. I'm done with the arguing. We've gone back and forth. Arlington Heights, the city of Chicago. If Hammond, Indiana is what's going to make everyone happy, we can move forward with this and make the fan experience better. I'm okay with it. Where do the Jets and the Giants play? They don't play in New York.
Tell them.
San Francisco 49ers don't play in San Francisco. They play in Santa Clara. I could keep going. The Rams, the Chargers, they don't play in LA. They play in Inglewood. And we're all fine with it. This is not that big of a deal. It's 20 minutes from Soldier Field. Make it right and make it good for the fans. That's my take.
So that was ESPN earlier today. This was the governor yesterday looking shit-faced, and really, he didn't have nothing to say. Now, this is, I believe, it's this press conference right here that pissed the fans off. Let's listen to this.
It was a surprise to us. The Bears actually, yesterday, we completed more than 3 hours, my team did, of discussions with the Bears. Very positive discussions, and indeed mostly agreed on a bill that would move forward this morning. But they asked us not to move forward with it this morning because they said they wanted to tweak a couple of items in the bill, which were things that we were working with them on. And so to have a statement put out by the Bears, now they're saying to us that that statement is not some confirmation that they're moving to Indiana, but rather that Indiana had asked them to say that, you know, they're going to move forward with the negotiations in Indiana. But I have to say it's very disappointing to hear that they would put that statement out but not say anything about the advancement that's been made in the state of Illinois. But, you know, we're waiting to hear from the Bears what they'd like to do next.
Bruh. And that's all he had to say about the Bears, bro. Fans is pissed. What was that? You're supposed to be the governor. Now, Rachel Nichols opened up on her podcast about this. Let's listen, bro.
The idea of a team whose ownership is worth $1.5 billion going to Indiana instead of staying in Chicago for tax money just blows my mind. These are the Chicago Bears. You know the two stadiums that the Chicago Bears have played with in their history? Wrigley Field for 50 years and then Soldier Field for the last 50 plus years. The history there, the history with this fan base, which is one of the greatest fan bases in the NFL.
Hey, Lenny Bird.
And look, ESPN's Courtney Cronin, who I really respect, was on the radio this morning and said, look, the McCaskey family, they just aren't liquid enough to build their own stadium. They do need this taxpayer money. Jason, you are not the owners of a team like the Chicago Bears. You are the stewards of a team like the Chicago Bears. And if you don't have the resources to keep the Bears in Chicago, you sell the team to someone who does. You do not hold on to it for the vanity of holding on to it and move them to Indiana. I am so fired up.
I was just trying to look up where this Dome Stadium would be. How far is this from, like, the important
from Soldier
hardcore?
Field?
Yeah.
It's about an hour in traffic, but there's always traffic. Oh,
Yeah.
It's not that bad, but it's in Indiana. And by the way, that's from the city center. A lot of Chicago Bears fans live an hour north of the city.
Oh, so now you're looking
So now
at like
you're
a 2-hour
talking about,
hike.
and by the way, are they going to become the Indiana Bears? I mean, they can't be the Chicago Bears anymore. You're talking about, are we changing the name of the team?
Where are town payer, the locals having
Taxpayer.
to pay for it? Yeah.
Look, I am not a fan of spending taxpayer money on
I'm totally
stadiums
agreeing
for
with you.
billionaires. You know, we just had the Intuit Dome built here. We just had SoFi Stadium built here in LA. Both of those buildings were built by ownership. Now, these are very rich owners, but that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Right? And there was some state money on some of the infrastructure, like the highways and, you know, electric lines
But
and all that
everybody
stuff.
benefits from that.
But everyone does benefit for that, and I'm okay with that. But you were talking about a time in America, the economics are tough for a lot of Americans right now. And to say we are going to give a billionaire family taxpayer money for a stadium and not only do it, but to move the team to Indiana, the Chicago Bears, I'm not in for it. I'm sorry.
It sounds like it's going to get ugly. You just got me into this.
It's ugly already.
Okay.
I don't like it.